Today I thought I'd share what I bought as a 55-year-old woman living alone on a budget. Finding myself alone with no job and minimal funds mean I have to be really careful about what I spend my money on. Being over 50 also means that I'm going through menopause and having some menopause symptoms. For me, this plays a big part in what I spend my money on, especially when it comes to food. As the price of food has gone up in the UK, and I presume all over the world, I need to be more aware of what I'm spending my money on. So it's been a real shock to be living on my own and finding out how expensive food and other things costs now. I found that it's really expensive to eat healthy, as being on a budget means I can't afford to spend nearly £5 on 2 portions of salmon, for example. So now I'm having to find alternatives that will still provide me with the nutrients I need to keep my menopause symptoms under control. Unfortunately, this means that the food I buy isn't always the best quality as I would like, but I have to live and buy what I can afford. So this is what I bought from Sainsbury's to begin with. I bought some greens because they are 80 pence, and some salad because I always like to have some salad. If I can't have anything else, I will always go for the vegetables. So recently I've been wondering why there are no sardines in the shop, and I don't know why. It's probably got to do with Brexit, but I like fish and fish is really good for us over 50 women, and the only alternative way of getting some fish, or in this case sardines, is through tin sardines. And I don't mind that, it's not all the time, because I'll have mackerel or other fish that may be available. And also these are cooked beetroot. Now they did have some other versions of beetroot, cooked beetroot rather, which were organic, and they were about 90 pence for around the same amount, so depending on which pack you get. So there's 3 in those and 3 in those as well. These are actually 33 pence each, and the organic version were 90p. Now I was feeling a bit hungry at the time and I hadn't had a snacky snack for a long time, so I did buy some taro masala, and I did have some when I got back from shopping yesterday because I walked for a long while and I was hungry. The reason I walked for a while is because I also went to the Asian shop and bought some of these wholemeal pita bread. Now in the shops, in Tesco's or other shops at the moment, you can get a pack of pita bread for around, I think they're £1.30. But I made the effort of walking further from where I really wanted to go, because these in the Asian shops were 50 pence each, and I bought 2 of them. I put one in the freezer, that way that I know that I don't have to go walking so far the next time I need more pita bread. I'm also not a fan of cow milk, as I call it nowadays, and I've not been a fan of cow milk since I was in school. And if you're my age, in the UK we used to have little bottles of milk that we were given in school, and even from that time I really did not like the taste of milk. So what I've been having is soya milk. So I've been having soya milk from the very first time I discovered soya milk. However, I've also found that they are now really expensive. Once upon a time when I started buying them, they were less than £1, and now the All Pro milk that I do have is now £1.95. And the worst thing about that is in the local shops near us, because it's the only shop that's here that's walkable to, they are actually £2.30, and I just like, ugh. So when you're like me, you're on a budget, you have to go and look for alternatives. And I was in Marks and Spencer's the other day, and I saw that they had alternatives to the soya milk that I normally have, and I thought, oh, let me try those. And they were actually really quite good alternatives. It takes a bit of getting used to, but the one thing that I found with the Marks and Spencer's soya milk is that they actually taste really nice, and they've got 0.1% more soya in their milk than the one that I normally have, which is why I added an extra walk into my walk yesterday and went into Marks and Spencer's, and luckily this time they've got the unsweetened version, which is better because I do try and have the non-sugar version. Although this is why you should never go shopping when you're hungry, because I also bought some scones. Now, being on a budget, really they were a bit pricey, although it's only £2.20. I could have used that £2.20 for, say, a pack of mackerels for food. But you know what, I haven't had scones for a very long time, and every time I go shopping I keep forgetting to get scones, and that's why I bought them, and I'm going to enjoy them and savour them. Now, just in case you're wondering whether this is the only food I have, it's not. I do actually have some meat in the freezer, and I've also got vegetables in the fridge to create dishes with that I can have for my evening meals. And because I'm only sort of catering for myself, I can make the food last a bit longer, and thank goodness for the freezer, because when I make a dish and I can't eat all of it, so that I don't get sick of eating the same food, I will freeze it and have something else. So I'm not starving, I do have food, I'm just a bit more selective in the types of food that I buy when I do go shopping. So this is what I'm having for lunch today. This is a whole one of those tins of sardines, the large beetroot from one of the packs, and some salad which is left over from the other day, and also half an avocado. Also, again, that's a leftover from one of my salads the other day. So I'm going to have my lunch now, and I hope you've enjoyed this video and a little insight into my over 50 life on a budget. And I hope you come back, and I'll see you in the next video.